Hey everyone, welcome back to Bros and Shows. I am your host, Josiah, aka Mahler67. And with me, as always, I got my buddy, I got my pal, I got my brother Austin. Austin, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. Your microphone's really low, Austin.
Oh, here. Is that here? How about this? Is that better?
Yeah, much better. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to turn up the gain a little bit.
That's fair. I was like, that's so weird. Like, we were just talking pretty fine, and then something happened. And I'm like, I don't know what happened. But, doing pretty good. Austin, I'm glad to hear that, man. How was your weekend?
Full of excitement. Actually, no, it was pretty interesting. Got the car back from the shop. One of the things that they said they were going to fix, they decided not to fix. They said that it wasn't covered, I'm pretty sure. So
you guys have a warranty?
No, that car we bought from a lot like
3
years ago, something like that. So it didn't have anything on it except for, I think, Gap. At that point.
Basic Gap.
Yeah. So we just gotta do what we need to do with it. But we got like what's it called? We have to fix the exhaust on it. Something's going on with it. It's just really loud when you drive. So we're like, oh, okay, well.
Yeah, just knock that baby off. It'll be fine. People know where you're coming from. Right?
Yeah. But no, had that. And then this weekend we had a respite. And I took the respite out to go watch the Odyssey movie.
Oh, okay.
So I got around to finally watching.
What'd you think about it? I've been hearing actually some pretty good things about it.
I will say this. So I always like to say this because I did talk to my buddy Travis about the movie, and I said the movie was fantastic. I really enjoyed the movie. I just have Austin complaints. That's all I call them. I call them Austin complaints. It's kind of like he calls it an Austin complaint, like the squid at the end of Watchmen, that it wasn't in the movie, and like I was like, that's the best part of the book, kind of deal. So there was a couple things,
things that actually, I get you.
Don't really affect the movie at all. Like I did have a problem with the ship that Odysseus and half of his men are on. They are not real Greek ships.
They're in like the cliche
like Viking ships. They're in Viking ships.
Interesting.
And yeah, it really irked me because I was like, why don't you just build like the Aeneas ship that like the Greeks sailed on? Like, it's not that hard. It doesn't look similar. Because the thing is like a Viking ship is like this.
Yeah, like it's like a
cavern's like this.
Kind of boat thing. Yeah.
An Aeneas ship is like this. It's up and then it's flat. It's like a flat surface.
Okay.
And it's like a, like kind of a pirate ship in a way, but it's just like a board. It kind of like irked me because I was like, I don't like that, but I was like, that's an Austin problem. It's not a big deal.
I mean, I think that can be. I think that can be labeled as more than just an Austin problem. That's a historical inaccuracy. Now, granted, Odyssey is a fictional story.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing that like I look at. The other things that I had,
it's centered in a time and place in history. People would be just as upset if you made a Civil War like movie, right? And then you have like a samurai running on the battlefield. They're like that was definitely wasn't there. And it's just like, yeah, but it's cooler. And it's like, I mean, you're right, it's cooler, but like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. And then like I did have a little Austin problem with the Trojan horse. Because like
is it because like context, the guy was so happy to let them in? He's like, man, this is finally making things look up.
So the original Trojan horse, like even depicted in like Greek mythology, like art, like in Greek art, the horse is on wheels.
Yeah.
In this one, he's not. They drag it all the way through the sands, like on top of these boards, and I'm like, okay, whatever. This just is a little bit too much for no reason. Like this, the whole Trojan horse thing was like, it was on wheels. It was presentable instead of like.
I mean, I always see it done with wheels. Is that actually how it's portrayed in the books?
Yeah, that's how it's portrayed.
Because I think it makes more sense for it not to have wheels, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, like that's
like why would they like, hey, we made you this monument. We put wheels on it. Wink, wink. Don't move it. Wink, wink. But like if it's like, hey, we made this monument and we left, like cool, we're going to move that into our place. And then they use like the traditional method of moving large materials of just the log system, right? And pulling it. I'm like, that makes more sense. That to me Austin issue, 100% makes sense
Yeah.
because that's the squid issue.
Yeah.
You're like, the squid's the whole point. Meanwhile, I'm over here being like, the freaking Dr. Manhattan thing makes a better sense for what the story is going for, and the squid was a stupid thing that they add to the thing to make giant tentacles from this guy for some reason. I stand by the movie.
The only reason that I say that is because how they have the horse buried in the sand and stuff, they talk about how they had to stay in there for multiple days, and like the tide would come up and like suffocate some of them, and I'm just like, this doesn't make sense, because if some of them would die, don't you think it would reek? Or like if they had to go to the bathroom, don't you think they'd it reek? And
I would say yes.
Yeah.
Except wasn't it a battle zone? Wouldn't the whole place smell like?
No, so that's the thing. Like how they predict it is there's nothing around. Like I was like, well, I think if you start pulling it and be like, man, this horse smells like dead, like animal, or something, or like, man, it smells like poop. So like that's why I kind of was like, I don't know, that's not believable to me, because Christopher Nolan likes to be realistic with stuff. But the other two things that I was really kind of upset with was one of my favorite parts of the Odyssey, like the book, is there's dialogue between Odysseus and the Cyclops, and they completely cut that out. It's completely cut out of the whole movie.
Does Poseidon never show up?
Poseidon does not show up.
So he
kind of see
rounded it a little more.
Yeah, he kind of like was like, here's these people that believe in gods, but there's no gods that show up. So like the only thing that kind of like does show up is like a dream sequence
of Athena.
Like, yeah,
that's why I heard is that like I think it's like Zendaya's Athena, right?
Yeah, Zendaya.
And like she has like 10 lines and is in the movie for like 2 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like how people were all up in arms about like Elliot Page.
Yeah,
like
Elliot Page had only like two.
He has like 5
like
minutes in it, and there's a part where like he's in the afterlife, and he does like this great speech, and I'm like, that was very well done. And then I was like, but I don't know why people are so upset about this. Like I was like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, they just want to upset because of the like cultural issues. That's it. They don't care about
the other
problem.
The other problem I'm not going to bring up until other people have watched it, because the thing is it does affect the whole story if you don't know the story of the Odyssey. So like I just
did they not turn him into a horny toad?
No, they do this thing that like just irks me. I wasn't a fan of it. Like I understand it was a cool concept, but I did not understand. I was like, I don't like this concept. Like it's not a good concept. But overall, this movie was well shot, well done. I enjoyed every minute of it. I walked out of the theater and was like, this is fun. It was entertaining. I liked it. Because the last Christopher Nolan movie I was not a fan of. But this one, enjoyed it. So I'm happy for it. It gets all the praise. I know that it's selling crazy. And our theater had like at least 25 people in it on a Saturday at 3 o'clock. So
that's pretty good. That's pretty good for downtown,
especially in Mount Vernon. Yeah,
Mount Vernon.
Yep. So overall, had fun doing that. Went to the pool, did some other things, and that's all pretty much I did this weekend. Is just
did you Pokemon go to the pool?
No,
sorry.
No, I didn't.
No, that's good. Awesome. Yeah. I'm glad. I think I think it was kind of a weird week to a degree because of the fact that last week I was at home with you.
Yeah.
Like for a very, very short time. Like it was basically like you came visit, we left, then we left the next day back here, right? Yeah. And so because you came up and visited for a couple days and then we did that, it felt like 2 weeks have passed instead of 1. And so whenever you're like talking about all this stuff, I'm like, it's crazy that you're not talking about like the party or anything like that. And then I'm like, oh yeah, because that was like a different week.
Yeah.
So that's weird. I mean, awesome for me. You didn't really ask, but like I kind of jumped in there, unfortunately. Very basic week, right, on my end.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Tears of Metal. I almost said Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of Metal came out on Wednesday. Been playing the fudge out of that. We played it with our friend Jordan for a good little bit. Been enjoying it. They've made a lot of changes since the demo. Got a bunch of things. I've just been playing it. I played it on my Steam Deck, and it was working great. Like we went to LARP this weekend to do it, and I was playing on my Steam Deck, and it froze during Act 3, man. And I was like, I had such a good run going. I had so much like resources I was gathering. I was like so upset. So I exited out of the game, reloaded it, and it gave me everything I had. And so I was like, oh, win, baby! Kept all of it. So I was like, it's all good. So we've been doing that. I think it would be cool to play more. Trying to get more people into it, because I'm like, it's a good game. It's a really good game that I'm very much enjoying. And then of course watched The Bear this week, and Tekko was also this weekend, but I didn't go because of that. So Tekko did this thing that I don't really agree with. Tekko is a anime con in Pittsburgh that I like to go to. I prefer to go to, honestly. But basically what they did is you can buy weekend passes for $80, which is much more than what they used to be. They used to be like $50 or something like that. What you could also do is buy daily passes. So you could like attend the con for one day and not have to dish out the full price and everything. Yeah. Well, they put a limit for how many daily passes you could buy. So before the con even started, they were sold out on daily passes. And I was like, that's the stupidest thing in the world. Daily passes should only be buyable on the day of. That's the point of daily passes. Or daily passes should be specifically set up per day, because what I assumed it was that you daily passes would basically allow them to reach the cap of the con and confirm it and be done, right? It's like, hey, we have the weekend passes, and then after all the weekend passes are sold, we can make a number of daily passes for each day for that day, right? No, they just did a hard cap of the number of daily passes, it seems. And you could buy them whenever you want. So I saw that I couldn't buy a daily pass for Friday, which was the only day I could go. And so I'm like, I'm not paying $80 for a week pass when I ain't going to go for basically the whole week. So I just ended up not going, and I was like, that's a crappy deal for me. I think that's a bad setup. They had a lot of people attend, it was good for them, blah 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 blah. But it just, I'm like, that was very unconsumer friendly, and that was super like predatorial kind of setup, which I was not cool with. I had a friend who go that wanted me to go so that way we could like catch up and hang out, but unfortunately I'm like, I'm not going to go with that. If I could get a daily pass, I would do it, but not anymore. But Terry went. He got a bunch of things for the house. He got me like a Hatsune Miku statue, which like sits on the edge of a desk or something like that. I'm like, that's cool. So we have her out in the living room. He also bought 2 throw covers or comforter covers. One of Cowboy Bebop and one of Trigun, which I was like, that's pretty sweet. And then we got a bunch of art for the house as well to like put in things to hang around. So we have more things on the wall and it looks better. So that was my week, Austin. Speaking about a week, let's talk about a show that takes place basically in a single day.
Yep.
Austin, this week we watched The Bear season 5 series finale. Before we begin, I have to ask, did you watch episode 0?
Yes.
The one that came out, I think it was either before season 5 or
it was a month. It was a month before season 5. Okay. I heard that it dropped, and the episode was called Gary.
Yeah. I did not, because I did not see that. However, I understand that it doesn't really do anything for the show, but it gives more context to Gary and Rich's relationship, or Mike's and Rich's relationship.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's cool. I would love to watch it. I just did not watch that and watch the actual series itself. Okay. I just wanted to ask that because unless you told me that it was important for the show, then I would be like, oh, okay.
It's only important in the context of like there is a scene in the last episode of this season.
Yeah, that
with a fire.
Yeah,
there's like a fire in the field. That kind of makes sense, but also too is we had a sneak peek of season 1 at the end of that episode, which is showing Richie getting into the car accident. Because the whole time, you know, like in the beginning, he's like steering wheel, dashboard, and he's saying that.
Yeah.
That's when the episode of Gary takes place. He's thinking back of that day that they went to Gary, Indiana.
Oh, okay.
So it's very interesting. I will say this: out of all the episodes this season, that is probably my least favorite. Just because it's very stagnatic. Like it was hard for me to get through it when I first watched it. I was like, man, they want to come out like this. I was like, I hope the season's not like this, because it was just a lot of nothing going on. You got a lot of Mikey background mostly, and you didn't get any Rich, and it was just this random story. It was like not even. I don't think it really brought anything to it except for the ending. I was like, oh, okay, this makes a little bit more sense because I did watch that episode. But what did you like the final season of The Bear?
So I liked it. I had no issues with it watching it. I will say this, and I don't think this. I think this may be controversial to some people or not. I feel like it should have ended a season or two earlier. But I'm not upset that they continued it per se. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like I liked what they did with each season that they did.
Yeah.
But it just felt like every season became the same issues, right, where it's like, we're possibly closing, we don't have the money, things are falling apart, we have to work together, we come together, the day is saved because of X, Y, and Z. And then we continue. And we continue. And I'm like, when this episode started and the rain started happening, I'm like, alright, so things are going to go to hell, bad things are going to happen, they're going to have to come together, and they're going to solve the issues, and it'll work. And it's like, that's exactly what happened. There was no big, like, surprise there. And I'm like, the only thing I can think of that I'm like, I mean, other than like the character like driven parts, like each character is very interesting and spending more time with them is nice, but it just kind of felt like some characters just had nothing to grow from, or they were just given new issues to deal with in this season. Like the two souffle chefs, or the two not souffle, what was it called when they do the desserts?
That is bakery.
Like the two bakers, right? They were just on each other's case the whole season. It was because like one of them was leaving, and like the other one felt like he was being like left alone or whatever. I'm like, this feels kind of out of nowhere, and like they just needed them to have issues. And I feel like they both like come together later, where they're just like, oh, it's not, like, we're still friends, sorry that we did that, blah 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 blah, and they like worked through it. But it was like, that felt like a kind of a season, like, we need something for them to do, let's just make them have issues with each other just to have them on screen together. It's fine, but like, I don't know, like it just felt like it was just kind of created for the season of.
Yeah.
I think Carney figuring out that he liked food, but because of more of the artistic approach versus the actual like creating and the stress of it, I think makes sense. I laughed at the career he went to. Because that was the biggest, like, I'm like, as someone who like has been in the art field, went to school for art and everything, you did the worst thing possible for yourself. Because he's like, I like drawing, I like doing all that stuff, I'm going to go to an architect firm. It's like, my brother, you that's like the soulless art that you're doing there. That's you did like pictures of food and all that stuff and that beautiful things. I'm like, you probably want to go into like something a little different than that, because you're going to just be drawing square buildings most of the time, my mate. Yeah. And he's just like, ugh. I was like, I don't know.
See, that's why, like, I think that there was a way that they could have made this even make more sense, and I would have enjoyed it more if he would have went to write a book, because that's what I thought he was doing. He was going to a publisher to write and do pictures for a book about his life and how like the succession of the bear happened. friends. Because the thing is like how John Delaney talks to him is like, you have a dark, deep past and blah, blah, blah. And they like that kind of stuff. You should say that kind of stuff. She likes it. So I thought, oh, this is a book publisher. Like he's trying to see if he can he can write a book about it.
Yeah.
Which I think would have made more sense. Like it would have been like, oh yeah.
See, what I thought was going to happen is that he would realize, because the one guy who came in and like at first he was like, I don't really do the whole like talking to people as I'm doing stuff. Like, well, you're going to do it now, blah blah blah, and like force it. And then like he started being like, you want to roll these napkins? And the guy was like actually excited to do. He's like, okay, watch me, and then like follow. And he got really excited to like help them effectively. It was just some random guy who was like came off the street to like eat, and then now he's kind of working for them, which I thought was crazy absurd, right? And so I thought what they were going to do with that was that he wanted to become a teacher effectively, because like he realized his favorite times working at the Bear was when he was teaching like the souffle person how to like eat, like whenever they were at night, you know, and they were like doing all the things. He loved the bakery whenever he was like helping him like eat and work with stuff. He loved that. And then he would realize like, I found this so stressful because the person that taught me, which was the guy from Community, Joe McHale, like that guy was such a dick to him that ruined the concept of like working there. He's like, I want to be better. I want to be a better teacher for people, and those are the things I love. And I thought he was going to do a thing where they would like cook stuff, or like they would have like the meal and everything, and then he would also offer classes to the side, and that's how he would be part of the Bear. Would be like while they're cooking, he has a group of people with him and he's showing them, he's like working with them, kind of like a Gordon. I really thought they were going to go like a Gordon Ramsay kind of route, where like he starts like a cooking kitchen, like a teaching kitchen, and that seemed to make sense to me. They didn't go that route, and I'm like, that's fine. But him going to architecture was hilarious to me, because I'm like, boy, you picked the worst art one.
Yeah, no. I did like one thing that they did do this season, and they made like a whole, I think it's kind of like a metaphor of something, because the rain and the building going to crap, and the crew like pretty much like going through all this stuff, it kind of reminded me of a sinking ship, and how the restaurant was a sinking ship, but the crewmates what makes the ship run, and they're trying to weather out the storm. And when the storm weathers out, they realize that like they can do it together. Yes, family. Dominic Correa would be so happy. But you know, I did enjoy this season. I liked that they made the ending very subtle. They didn't like go all out and do like this whole thing. It was just more of, I think I really enjoyed Rich as his story progressed. I really enjoyed him through the whole series. I really enjoyed how he progressed as a character.
Yep. He was probably my most favorite character throughout the series.
Oh,
like I enjoyed how he began as this person who's like, I'm just talking, but he's like, I'm not really a people person. He just knows how to like talk to people, kind of. And then as he kept progressing, he's like, oh, he's actually like caring for people. He's learning how to actually interact. He has now learned through the one like place he went to how to actually like learn about people and talk to them like a person. And it's like, that's really cool. I like that. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, so overall I did like this season a lot. I did feel the same way with that, where, you know, last season when we did this, I said I don't know, I think the Bears just needs to come to an end. And I said it's getting to a point where you can't do the same things over and over and over again in a kitchen drama, because it's just going to loop. And then when they said that they were announcing the last season, I was like, oh, cool. But what was very interesting about the season was there was a lot of like 20-minute episodes, and then there was like an hour-long episode, and then there was another hour-long episode, and I was like, wow, I don't know if they like ran out of like ideas to try to finish this up, or they like had too much footage and they were like, oh, we got to cut this down because we're ending the show. But I did thoroughly enjoy the pretty much like the things that I wanted resolved, they got resolved. The only thing that's kind of left up in the air is if Carmy's really going to do the whole architecture thing, because I don't think he's going to like that either. But overall, I did enjoy this show as a whole. Like, I remember when we first started the show, I remember watching the first season and episode 8. I will never forget episode 8 of season 1. That is the most anxiety-driven show I've ever felt in my life. Like, it made me feel anxiety through a TV show, and I'll never forget that episode. Every time I think of the bear, I think of season 1. I always think of season 1, and even season 2. Season 2, Richie's whole like bringing up and the whole Taylor Swift thing was great. I loved every minute of that. But then season 3 and 4, I weren't, you know, there was some good episodes, but there was also episodes. Like, they weren't great. And you could kind of tell that like they were kind of like trying to figure everything out at that point. But I did enjoy the season. I was glad that they kind of came to a conclusion on like where everyone stands. I'm glad that they got their Michelin star, and come to find out it was actually 2 Michelin stars.
Which that was such a really jerk thing for Carney to do, right?
Yeah.
It was like, did we get a star? And he's like, no. It's like, oh dang, we got 2. It's like, you freaking piece of jack, dude. Why would you do that?
He chatted everyone.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I thought at the end there, when what's his name? Not Mike. What's the cousin's name? Rich was in the freezer, and he was talking about like he has a lot of anxiety and whatnot, and then he was like talking to him. I thought he was straight up going to have a heart attack right there. I thought they were going to show like the series was going to end with him dying of a heart attack. And I was like, are they doing that right now? Because like you saw it throughout the whole season with him like constantly being like, steering wheel, sure, this, that. It's like, that's stress relieving. That's like you're grounding yourself in the environment, trying to like get the textiles and everything. And it's for anxieties, right? If someone gets too much anxiety, it can like cause like enough stress to get a heart attack. And so I thought they were going to have him have a heart attack, and it was going to end with like him passing away or something like that, as like this big like final big like emotional stint thing. I'm glad they didn't, because I didn't want him to go, but I thought that's what they were going to do, or at least like have it where it happens, he survives, and like it's like a big thing. It's just like, hey man, we're not going to continue the bear because it's too stressful for you. We're going to revert it back to like a more simpler approach, or we're giving it to Sydney for her to do. Our family is done with the bear because we can't keep losing family members to it, but we will always be family with the bear. And then they become more like people going there and just enjoying the situation instead of participating. But I don't know. I was like, I when that was happening, I was like, is he having a heart attack right now? Is that what's freaking happening? It's freaking crazy.
Right. Overall, you know, I'm gonna kind of miss the series. I'm glad, you know, I'm always glad when a show does come to a conclusion, because sometimes shows can be very stagnatic and they keep continuing and they don't work out properly. Game of Thrones, but you know, it's just, the thing is I think they knew that the show could only have run so long, you know, 6 seasons in a movie, maybe, you know, and
5 seasons, no movie.
5 seasons, no movie. But also too is like, we've had some really big, like, I also know that it was going to be hard for them to keep some of those stars that they do have, because Jeremy Allen White is now a big time actor. He's like a big actor. Like, he was in the new Bruce Springsteen movie that came out, and like he's also doing other roles. Also, the guy that plays Rich, he's the Thing in the Fantastic Four. You know, and like he's now part of the Marvel universe, and now Ryan Gosling is now. But the thing is like, I knew that sooner or later they were going to have to come to an end to it, because a lot of those actors from that show are now getting roles. And you know, I'm excited for that. And I forgot that the guy with the tattoos, and everyone thinks he's a klutz. He used to be like the handyman in season 1.
Oh yeah, Neil.
Yeah, he's a chef. Like he's a real life chef, and like I see
he has
his
his own
videos all the
YouTube,
time.
I believe, right?
Yeah, and like supposedly it's getting bigger now, and like he's doing bigger things. So I was like, well, it's kind of hard to get like a show keep going, especially when a budget's going to get tighter, or it's going to be more money because these people are getting more acting roles, and they're going to ask for more money because they're agents. But I am glad that they did finish The Bear on a good note. Like I was very stressed out about it. I was like, I didn't hear a lot about the ending of The Bear, and come to find out, a lot of people are like, it came to the conclusion that it needed to, and I was like, okay, cool. So after I watched this and then finally read around Reddit, they were like, yep, this is exactly how it should have ended. Some things should have changed a certain way, but we're glad that it did. That, and they. It's hard because especially this show was very well done. I thoroughly enjoyed this show. This was a show that I made you watch, and we've watched every season of it. So, I'm glad that I got to share. Yeah, I'm glad to get to watch this with you. It was a lot of fun. So,
I think it's going to be interesting where the different actors go after this, because like obviously Will is the guy who plays in who does he play in Guardians of the Galaxy? Adam Warlock. He plays Adam Warlock, right? You got him playing Adam Warlock. You got, like you said, what's his face playing
Rich, playing
the Thing. William Allen Wright was apparently in Grogu in The Mandalorian.
Yes. Yep.
I'm wondering who else. Well, then you also have John Berthel being the Punisher. I wonder who else they're going to pull from The Bear to join the Marvel Universe, because they're great actors. So, like, I love all the actors in the show. Like, especially everyone who's in that kitchen. Like all the different people acting in that kitchen did phenomenal jobs. They did such a great job being grounded and like serious people with like serious life situations. I hope they get more acting jobs. I hope they keep going, because they did a fantastic job. It was very, very well done. I was really sad that we didn't see Bob Odenkirk in this season.
Yeah, we have.
I don't remember him. When was
he? He was at the birthday party. party.
Okay. But like I'm talking about this season. I'm not talking about like the 10-second ending thing. But like those characters, like I was like Bob Odenkirk. I like him. I like to see him in things. And then I also said this. I completely forgot that Gillian Jacobs.
Yeah.
Gillian Jacobs was in the show, because was she like Mike's?
She was Rich's love interest.
Yeah. That's his mom.
So she actually is in an episode, the Gary episode. She is in it.
Okay, that makes sense. But like the reason why I remember her is during the flashback of the last season. Like I was watching I was looking at the Gary thing. I'm like, what is this? And then she showed up. And I was like, I forgot she was in this. I forgot she was in The Bear. It's cool that Adam Eve is in this.
I always forget that she's in a lot of things. Like when we watch
really,
Invincible, I'm like,
really big actress.
Eve? And I'm like, oh, it's Gillian Jacobs. So I was like, of course it is. Like I always forget that she's in it.
She's one of those actors that I'm like, people don't realize how much she's in until like you look it up and you're like, oh dang, she was in that too. Well, I like that movie. So that's all good. All right, awesome. I think that will basically cover it for this week of Bros and Shows. This is the end of The Bear. It was a great ride and it was fun. Hell of stressful, but that was the point of it. So next week we are going to do Those About to Die, if I recall correctly. Yes. It is like a gladiator show of what I've
got
seen.
Anthony Hopkins in it. It's got
that's his name. I saw him and I was like, that's definitely
Ramsay in Game of Thrones, and then there's like a couple other ones. But I've been wanting to watch this show. It just I saw it popped up on my radar. I've been wanting to watch it. And I was like, you know what? We're gonna watch it because that's what I want to do. So
I'm interested in the number of people in it, because I know that Ramsay, the actor of Ramsay Bolton's in it, and you said Anthony Hopkins. I'm wondering who else is in it. I'm looking at the cast right now, and I do not know most of these, so that makes me excited because I like seeing like unknown people take the roles. And it's like, great, let's see what they can do. Let's get them in the light. Let's get them working. Good job. Go out there and enjoy. Become a star. All right, Austin. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Bros and Shows. I will see you next week, where we watch Those About to Die Season 1, because Season 2 is not out yet, but apparently it's been confirmed or something like that. I could be wrong. Oh, no, never mind. Season 2 is probably not happening, apparently. Well, yeah, we'll find that out. We'll see. But anyways, Austin, thanks so much for joining me. Thank you all so much for stopping by, and thank you all so much for tuning in.